All right, so anytime we're doing leg exercises where we're standing, we have a choice between where we put our weight. And if I have my full foot here, usually with exercises, we want to think full foot, meaning my weight's evenly distributed between the outside of my foot, the inside, the front, and the back. But early on in rehab, or if we want to bias certain muscles, we can put weight more either in the back or the front to hit certain things. So example, in this squat, I have a full foot right now. I'm using everything in the front, my quads, and my glutes equally. If I shift the weight forward into the balls of my feet, now I'm going to be using a lot more of my knees and my quads and not as much of my glutes. Conversely, if I shift my weight backwards and notice that my hips go back a little bit, now my weight's in the heels and I'm feeling a lot more of my glutes and my hamstrings working than my knees. So we can utilize a strategy early on in rehab for, say, hip issues, and say someone's having a little bit of pain in a squat. Well, I'm going to say, well, we can shift the weight forward a little bit and have the trunk up a little bit more, which is now a knee strategy when we're doing squats or things like lunges. But for most people, especially for hip patients, they have the opposite problem. We may be doing something like a split stance lunge and everyone's like, I only feel it in my quad, which the quad is definitely working. If we want to bias weight and bias muscle activity to the glutes, the hamstrings, and everything in the posterior chain, what I'm going to have someone do is say, now this is a full foot. I'm going to say, let's drive through the heel, let's shift weight back onto my front heel. So that just means literally I'm shifting weight back. Now I'm sticking my butt out a little bit and I'm trying to drive my heel into the ground as hard as I possibly can. Now that I'm driving my heel into the ground, I'm really feeling my glutes work in comparison to a full foot or even my weight forward. That's one little thing that you can do to try to get the glutes to fire. Another thing with your foot, without even moving my foot, I can think of turning my foot out. So if you look at my knee, I'm literally externally rotating and abducting my hip, even though my foot position didn't change. So that's why we teach a lot with the band exercises, we're pushing out. So you can pretend that there's a band there, and I'm going to push out against the band. Just pushing out against the band in this position, I'm already feeling my glutes super engaged before even descending in a split stance lunge. So as you go through the program and you work on your step-ups, your lunges, your squats, if you're having a hard time feeling your glutes, think those two things. Weight on the heel, butt back, butt out. Pretend there's a band around your knee and really drive out. Think about turning out your foot. Get set in this position, keep everything squeezed, and then start to lower into your desired exercise. So in this exercise, my working leg is my front leg. When we go into the curtsey lunge, when my leg crosses behind into the outside, I'm not shifting my weight back onto this back leg. I'm staying forward the whole time. With the curtsey too, this foot's not going to go backwards like a backwards lunge. It's going to go out to the side of you. So you're going to feel like your body's twisting over, and that's totally normal and totally fine. What that does is it stretches more of your hip muscles and works them a little bit harder. So first, weight stays on my right foot. I'm going to put my left foot back. My weight stays forward. And in this place, I feel a nice stretch to my glute. And then I'm going to power up through my front leg and then stand in balance. In this position, my core is engaged. I'm squeezing my quad and I'm squeezing my glute. Right from here, I'm going to then go straight back into the curtsey. So my foot, I'm going to bring back into the curtsey, then come back. At no point really is my left leg really doing any work because my right leg is the one driving me through the single leg balance position and keeping me going. So with this, we're just going to be performing backwards lunges, but we're going to be alternating, meaning I'm going to do one with my right foot forward, then I'm going to switch and do my left foot. You want most of the weight and most of the work to be on your front leg. So even though I'm stepping back, I'm not shifting my weight back. It's staying over my front foot the entire time. And on the way up, I'm primarily pushing with my front foot, not my back foot kicking me and helping me up. It is going to help a little bit, but I think front foot doing the work. And we're just going to alternate like so. From the front, it's just going to be like this.